All right, Democrats doing everything they can to sabotage the Trump economy. Yep. Joining me now is the great Victor Davis Hanson, Hoover Institution Senior Fellow. Victor, you and I are tracking on the same thing. I mean, I love one of your points in here. The Democrats want to sabotage the Trump economy, win the midterm elections in the House, and then start impeaching Trump all over again. Now, how sick is that? But you know what? I happen to agree with you. Certainly the left wing of the party would go there in a nanosecond.
Oh, I think it's a certainty they will. And, you know, I think the shutdown was in part not just to affect the elections recently, although it did, but we're starting to learn that maybe they took out a point or a point and a half of GDP in the fourth quarter, and I think they'll do it again before the midterms. If they think that, along with artificially keeping interest rates high and the media talking about recession, Wall Street collapse, tariff wars, China, all of this negative news, along with the high interest rates and shutting down the government, will hurt the economy, at least they think, before the midterms. And that's what the midterms are going to be decided on, I think. I think everybody agrees on the status of the economy.
No, I surely agree. And you know what? Listen, we had Kevin Hassett on last evening, and they're going to take the shutdown, this crazy shutdown, which was so unnecessary and so damaging to ordinary people, you know, trying to take airplanes to just do their job and so forth and so on. Anyway, that shutdown will stop the 4% growth momentum that was already developing in Q2 and Q3. So Q4 is going to be a couple of percentage points lower. And then, Victor, you recoup it next year. But if they go back, January 30th or 31st is the end of the current, the new CR. So if they shut down the government again, they will stop the economy's momentum, or at least slow the momentum in the next spring, which is a crucial time. I mean, what a strategy that is.
Yeah, I think we have to be a little bit less naive. I think everybody's saying, well, they blew it, they didn't get anything out of it. That's not what they think. They think they helped win those elections, and those, even though they were blue states, but more importantly, they think they slowed down the economy, and it's a proven formula to repeat when it really matters in 2026. So I'm afraid they're going to do it again.
I mean, it's just sabotage. Their policy is sabotage, and they're all these left-wing groups. I don't know if ordinary Democrats, whoever they may be, are in favor of this. But it's all these NGOs and foundations and left-wing groups and, you know, Southern Poverty Center type groups. They're the ones behind this. They're the ones pushing the party in this direction.
Yeah, I think that's also out of fear. I think, you know, we've never pumped 14 million barrels a day, and given Trump's initiatives, we could be up to 16 million. We've never really had these tariffs that are they're not causing a war yet, but they're bringing in revenue, they're getting more symmetry in trade. We've never had 2 million people deported and have those jobs open up to the degree some of them were working. And we've never had this level of foreign investment. I don't know what the ratio is. The economists can't agree of how many $1 billion in foreign investment creates how many jobs depending on where it's invested. But if half of what Trump says turns out to be reified, we could have $6 or $7 trillion starting to come in next year. So they see all this and they think, oh my God, this economy could really take off in 2026. What are we going to do about it? I think that's their frame of mind right now.
But here's the other thing. Donald Trump didn't create the affordability crisis. The affordability crisis is inflation prices are higher than wages for working folks, middle class and lower income people. Okay? Joe Biden created 9% inflation with 21% cumulative increase in prices. That wasn't Donald Trump. That was Joe Biden that did that. J.D. Vance made the case last night, I think, or the night before, that basically the average price of a home doubled under Biden, went up 100%, doubled. That wasn't Trump. It was under Biden. Now I got the Democratic Party and the lefty media blaming Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the 21% increase over 4 years, they averaged on 5% inflation every year of those 4 years. And then when Trump came in, we're forgetting he didn't get in until January 21st, really, and it takes months to get geared up. And he inherited about a 2.7, 2.8 inflation rate, depending who you listen to. So I don't think they got that message out that they inherited an inflationary economy. It had gone down, but it never had reduced prices. The rate of inflation had gone down, but it still averaged 5% over 4 years. And prices remained high, especially on cars, houses, insurance, the things that really matter to people. But they didn't get that message out yet.
Well, I think so. If you take this now and get into the midterm political season, it would seem to me that the president, the vice president, and all the senior staff, cabinet members and whatnot, they got to get out there. They got to fan out and make the case, Victor. I think they've got to really, for example, explain what's really in the one big beautiful bill and how it, for example, next year tax refunds are going to be up enormously for tips and overtime and seniors and auto loans, why the factories coming over here, reshoring, how that will hire jobs. You follow me? I mean, they got to do some old-fashioned selling, marketing, communicating, don't you think?
I think they do, and I think they have to point out that every one of these initiatives that is ostensibly not economic really is. And you meant oil is, it's going to lower prices. And having symmetry on trade is, foreign investment is, lowering the crime rate is, deportating 2 million people who are on social services is going to be an enormous DOGE saving. So DOGE is going to be, they all have to talk about all the initiatives that don't seem connected in terms of finance and economics as economics, because I think they're going to kick in, and nobody kind of appreciates what they're doing in that sense.
Well, I think it's there for the taking. The early results are very good, but look, no better communicator than Mr. Trump. So we got to get him out there. But he's got others that they've just got to get out there. It seems to me that's the big thing. And you can't let the lefty media run this place. You just can't. It is fake news.
No,
I mean, it just is fake news.
And he had such. I know he's had all these successes with ceasefires in the Middle East and the Iranian nuclear program, but George W. Bush won the Gulf War in '91. He had about a 90% rating, and then the Clinton people convinced everybody we were in a moderate recession, which was greater than the Great Depression, and he lost a year later. So foreign affairs are very important, but they rarely determine an election, and I think they have to keep that in mind. As well as he's done abroad, he's got to talk about the economy achievements far more than the foreign affairs.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. He's done fabulous work on foreign policy. You're absolutely right. The trade policy too, but we need the bread and butter stuff right here at home. Victor Davis Hanson, nobody better. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you.